the 2-bit hero. So once you show me that you don't get, it doesn't even really matter. Do you? As a healer, one thing that pains me is when people say, I'm only doing this for my kids, or if it wasn't for my kids, I wouldn't be here. Now, I'll say this, there's nothing wrong with that by any means, but to me, when you're not doing things for yourself as well, you're missing out on some happiness. You're missing out on some peace, right? Because you got there's something there preventing you from doing things for yourself. And I know that hurts, okay? Because I've been there. Right. And one thing that I want to do is encourage you to do things for yourself so you can experience that happiness, that peace, because that to me unlocks your best self. When you're doing it for your kids or whatever you're doing it for now, on top of doing it for yourself, that's your best self. And that's when things get fun and lit. And I'm telling you right now, it's fantastic over there. So one thing, like I said, I want to do is encourage you to also do things for yourself. And it starts with being petty. You already know where I'm at. So first and foremost, stay petty. Okay. And then let the chips fall where they may. Petty-lujah. You can end anything you say with your raggedy, and it'll hit home every single time. The versatility is through the roof. You want to add a little razzle dazzle to the situation? End it with your raggedy and just watch the fireworks go off. Enjoy the show. Petty-lujah. If the door hits you right in your ass on the way out, so be it. And it don't matter if I pushed it or not. That's besides the point. You was moving too slow. Get your ass up out of here. It's all and giggles until you choose your piece over theirs. And you're like, hold on, you not anymore. What happened? You take some Pepto? You not giggling anymore. The cat got your tongue. Meow. Okay, it's my turn to enjoy the peace. Boundary checkpoint. If you got people mad at you because you've set a few boundaries and started protecting your peace, congratulations. Okay, that means they're working. Go ahead and set a few more. You might as well piss a few more people off, weed them out a little bit. Your peace is the key to your happiness. When I first became a content creator, I didn't know, where this was going to go. And as it kind of started to take off, I needed something to represent, what I'm about. So I had to ask myself what am I about, And throughout my healing journey, I found that when my mind is at peace and when the things around me are at peace, I'm happy. And my goal is to be happy. And I wanted something to represent that. So if you see this logo, that's the first logo that I created. It's the word peace that's serving as a key to a lock. And inside this lock is all my good memories, all my sad memories. I don't ever want to lose sight of those things because those things are what make me as well. So I created it and then I threw it in my merch store and I said I wasn't going to explain it at all. I was just going to throw a poster up and, hopefully somebody will see it for what it's worth. And, I'm sitting here just playing the game or whatever, and I get a notification on my phone. I get an Etsy sale, and it was a poster. So the first one that sold, it brought me to tears. I sat here and cried. I called my best friend. I said, hey, I sold what I was hyped. I was geeked up. And that was a moment when I realized that all this hard work that I had put in is paying off. Okay, we really got something here. And the lock really serves, for me, it serves two purposes. It's my peace is the key to my happiness, but also for my peace, I will go in here, and protect my peace. Duality. I'm huge on duality. I live in a constant state of duality. So that's kind of the journey of the peace protector. Another one of my personas that I don't use as much. I used to use it a lot. So yeah, that's the story of that journey. So yeah, pretty cool. Petty-lujah. People be like, you look so much happier. And I'd be like, thanks. I've been nothing but petty for the last few years. Weeding these out, okay? But how are you? It can't be all forever. And what I mean by that is at some point in time, it is your fault. And you can't keep saying blaming the universe or whatever y'all blame. You got to start passing some of these damn tests. Okay, you running out of number 2 pencils, they're Scantron joints, multiple choice, true, false, yes, no, and you missing the easy johns. Okay, question be like, Did you give this person an all access pass to your energy? And you circling no. Who did? Okay, did you text this person what you doing at 3 a.m.? And you putting I butt texted. That wasn't even an option on the damn test. You just wrote it in there trying to be slick. You got to start making some better decisions. Okay. Plain and simple. And if you need some help, bring your ass on down to Pettyville, because we'll get you right. Okay, Pettylooyah. Pettylooyah. Happy Throat Punch Thursday. You already know the assignment. Make sure those hands stay petty ready. And if somebody tries to play in your face today, punch them square in the throat. Figuratively, though, for us crazy folk. People be like, you're such an asshole. And I'm like, I am not an asshole. I'm selectively nice. You just weren't selected. People be like, you look way happier now. And I'd be like, thanks. I stopped with raggedy people. Couldn't be happier. The 2-bit hero. So if you've been paying any type of attention, you know 2-bit is on everything that I do, from my usernames, my podcast, my Etsy store, everything. Well, 2-bit is a tribute to my brother. So my brother was the first person whose pain I ever felt. He was 8 years older than me, but he was bullied and picked on. And over time, I started to feel his pain. But that also fueled like my pettiness, right? Because I'd always said, I'm going to get whoever, is doing this to my brother back. And then that kind of transferred over to me. And me and my brother were two totally different people, but we shared a love for computers, right? My brother was a computer nerd, and then I ended up becoming a computer nerd. I'm fascinated with computers, and I now work in cybersecurity. But if you're familiar with computers, they communicate using 2 bits. So 2-bit is it is a tribute to him. So when I started doing this, I wanted to, make sure, he was on everything that I did, because that was the origin, of my pettiness kind of. So, that's a good way for me. And he passed away in 2012, but that's a good way for me to, keep him around, because one of my motivations for what I do is I don't want people to feel like he did. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm, encouraging people to heal and work through your trauma and don't put up with any so there you have it. The 2-bit hero. Pettylooyah. Pneumonia is no joke either, y'all. So if you didn't know, I am a cancer survivor, and I'm going back through my battle from 2003. So now we're about 3 months into the 8-month battle, and I catch a cold. And you already know, when you're on chemo, your body's not fighting it. And on top of that, I have cancer of the immune system, so my body's really not fighting. So, I catch a cold, and my best friend is coming back in town from college. And at the time, he was one of the only people that I had around me. So I'm definitely going to kick it with him. And as I was walking out to my car, I take a really deep breath and I fall over from the pain. And I said, oh shit, you should probably go to the ER. So I did what I thought was best. I go to his house. Okay. And throughout the day, my breathing gets shorter and shorter. And by the evening, I'm laying on his love seat in the fetal position, and I can barely breathe. Everybody's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, not really. So I end up going to the bathroom and I start coughing up blood. And at that point in time, now I'm really, really panicking. So I call my oncologist, and she's like, you got to get to the ER. My dumbass drives. Okay. And luckily I made it, because as I'm driving, I'm coughing up blood, spitting it out the window. Unbelievable. I sit back and think about that time, and I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? But anyway, get to the hospital. They say it's pneumonia, get the meds, and it's cleared up, in about 5 days or so. But I'm just like, wow, what a time. Definitely one of the scariest moments from my battle, but it wasn't the scariest. So you already know, stay tuned. Pettylooyah. Listen, I'm in my healing era. But the key word here is healing, not healed. That means I'll still show my whole in the blink of an eye. Boo! My just fell out. Don't get it twisted. I still got it. Pettylooyah. Every few months or so, I like to run back through parts of my story just to let you guys know, where I come from, because I think it's important. When I was 20, I was coaching middle school basketball, and one of my players came up to me and, asked me what was wrong with my neck. And I thought he was playing around, and, I went and checked, and I had a lump on my neck. And at the time, I was scared, didn't know what it was, so I let it go. And after quite some time, I went down one morning to eat breakfast and I couldn't swallow. The food wouldn't go down. So I said, it's time to do something. So I went to the ER and they were like, you got to get a biopsy. And, went to get the biopsy. And as I was waking up from the biopsy, the doctor was like, it looks cancerous. Now we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like. So we're going to refer you to the cancer center. So I went to the cancer center. Doctor was like, yeah, you have Hodgkin's, but we don't know, how far it's progressed. So anyway, got a spinal tap and the cancer was in my bone marrow. So that was stage 4. You already know. So doctor was like, all right, well, we got 8 months of chemo and then we'll go from there. So there's my diagnosis. And now the fun begins. Petty-lujah.
I'm not one of those people you really want to say, don't ever talk to me again to, because it's at that very moment, you no longer exist to me. You say your name was what? No, I don't know anybody by that name, but good luck finding who you were looking for.
What it do? We back here in Wishing Woods. Wishing Wood. Where you at? Hello. Holla at me.
Sometimes you just got to look at the situation and move on. Mayor Petty B here. Real quick, if you have a permanent resting place, I'm not judging you. I'm not saying you're petty, but we could use you down here in Pettyville, so just think about that and let me know.
It's your petty spirit guide here. See, some of y'all just hard-headed. The high road is still closed. I saw a couple of y'all heading that way earlier this week. I already checked. Closed. Low roads only.